Good afternoon. This is Gwen with CraftyLadyDesigns.com. Starting a new project, and I thought I would put this on YouTube and also add it to my blog site at CraftyLadiesDesign.com, and I will also post it on scrapadabadoo.blogspot.com. Scrapadabadoo is an online craft shop. They're providing the supplies for this project. I'm going to make a door hanging that says baby asleep. And I'm going to use the Graphic 45 paper collection Mother Goose. One of my favorite. It's just for babies, toddlers, whatever. It's such a pretty paper line. It has, you can see, here's some cutouts that it has. There are four by six cutouts. There's paper stars, blue stars, polka dots, stripes, check, a blue check. Oops. And then there's stamps and border trim. Humpty Dumpty. There are some cut parts as well. Postcard, bedtime stories, places for journaling, and then tags that you can use. It's just a really sweet paper. There's a red polka dot with orange polka dots. Plaid, like a Scottish plaid. Rockabye Baby, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Humpty Dumpty, He Did a Little. This all has different rhymes in it. Black and white check. Flowers, pretty bright blue and red flowers. It has a musical page with lullabies, Rockabye Baby, Lullaby, Hey Diddle Diddle. And then the large page where you can fussy cut out Mother Goose and various things. So it's just a really sweet paper line to make a children's theme. I'm going to also use grunge board. I want this flexible. It's going to be a door hanging, like they hang on your door, and that indicates that the baby's asleep. So shh, be quiet type thing. But I don't want it to tear. I want it a little bit more sturdy because it'll be coming on and off and on and off. I'm going to cut a hole in the top, put a slit so you can slide it on the door. The paper I'm going to use is, we're going to do the first one for a boy. And I have made this page. I did this on my computer and printed it out. Baby Asleep in two different size fonts, in blue and in pink. I'm going to make one for a little girl as well. And then the first one we're going to make is for a little boy. I'm going to use the blue stars. And I've also tore out some of the cut aparts. As I say, these are 4 by 6. And then on the back there are more as well. So I'm going to try to find one that correlates with our page. Here are some smaller cut aparts that I might add. That has the postcards, as I said, and some other stamps. This is the green page. And then there are some stamps. I've cut these out. I'll probably add these on the page or on the tag. It's like a tag. It's like an oversized tag. And the size of it is 5 inches by 10 inches. And here's the page with the stamps and some trimmings as well. So let's get started. I have cut out my, starting in my tag or door hanging, and as I said, using the grunge paper, and I'm going to adhere this to the paper. The video is going to be long, and I'm going to have to do this to complete this project in more than one video, I'm sure. I'm going to use score tape to tape the edges. I'm going to adhere this to the blue star paper. And I'm going to cover both sides of the door hanging. I'm going to cover the front side with the stars. And I think I'll use the back side of the paper with the printed part. And I'm going to, this is grunge board, and it's a little bit harder to adhere to than just uh, regular cardstock. So I'm going to take off my tape, and I'm also going to, I like my, when I cover something, a tag or whatever, I like the whole body of it adhered to, excuse me, so I can, I'm also going to use in the center my ATG gun. Now this is the ½ inch. I do have a 1/4 inch as well, but this is the ½ inch. For some reason, I feel like that the ½ inch tape, it's a little different tape from the Gold Bond tape that we buy for the 1/4 inch. I feel like it's a little stronger. It may not be, but I kind of feel like it is. I'm going to lay this, of course, on the paper on the wrong side because we're wanting to utilize the star. Take my brayer and brayer this down to make sure we get a good stick. Turn it over and do it on both sides. Then I'm going to take my craft knife and cut it out. Save my paper because I think I used that back side, the writing on the back side of the tag. It's an oversized tag, but it is a door hanging. So here is the front side covered with the blue paper. I'm going to take my sanding block and just bevel off the edges slightly, not a lot. I'm going to use distressed ink on the project, and I'm going to use Vintage Photo Arranger. I think Vintage Photo, and I use all of them, but I really think Vintage Photo primarily is the best one to use with graphic 45 paper lines. Now, this is the back side. It has different Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Wonder Where You Are, Above the World So High on the back. So that's what I'm going to cover the back of our, so I turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing, put down the score tape. I'm using ½ inch score tape. Put down the score tape along the edge of the tag. Now, as I say, this is grunge paper, not grunge board. There is grunge board, but I wanted this more flexible. I could have used chipboard as well, but as I say, I really want this more flexible. And again, we're going to burnish the tape to make sure we get a good stick. Pull off the tape. I always pull off the tape along the edge before I put down the tape in the center. I just, I prefer to have it in the center as well. Just so it's, I've seen projects where it's just taped around the edge and it's not adhered down and you can see it not real secure, and I just don't like that look. And besides, I think that could probably tear and then you'd have a real problem. So we put that down. I'll take our brayer again, brayer it down good on both sides so we can make sure, as best we can, make sure that we have a good stick. Take your craft knife and cut along the star. Now, the one thing that I probably am going to have a problem with is cutting out the hole for the door hanging. I had a punch, I'm going to try, I don't know. And I have die cut circles, but they're not individual die cut circles, and framelits and those type of things would not cut through the grunge paper. They would cut through the design paper, the pattern paper, but they wouldn't cut through Let me get this cleaned up a little bit. So we will see. I might have to hand cut it out or cut it out with my craft knife. I'm going to make sure, I know along this side it needs cleaned up a little bit. I didn't get real close to the edge, so there we go. You want it really close to the edge. It's just a smidgen, as they say, off. And I'm going to take my sanding block again, just go around the edge. I'm not going to use the ink yet until I'm going to try to cut out and then I'm going to round the edges before I do my inking. There's one little place up here. There we go. This is such cute paper. Okay, now the center of this is 2.5. I'm going to mark the center, 2.5, right here. And I am, it's 2.5, I'm not sure. Now it's a little off. And I am going to try to take this as a Scrap-A-Dab, not Scrap-A-Dab-A-Do, it's a Stampin' Up! Circle punch. Oh boy. It's just not going to do it. It's just too thick and too heavy of a... So what I'm going to do is draw a circle. That's too big. Too big, you know. And as I say, I've got a die cut that would cut it, but I don't think I could get okay. So I'm going to hand, well, that's maybe too big of a circle. Maybe too big of a circle. I'm going to cut it out with my craft knife or my scissors. So we're going to cut be a challenge. Pretty heavy material. I am going to use my Timmy scissors. There we go. Timmy scissors are really super. They will virtually cut anything. And I just got the new long ones. They are long. They are very long. I haven't used them yet. They are virtually the same as the little ones, and they have the serrated edge. But they are long. They're longer than the longest ones I use every day. Well, I think we did it. And with some little sanding and staining, I think we're okay. As I say, I have a I'm going to sand around it. Uh-oh, I'm torn the paper. Right. I have some die cuts, but they're not individual circle die cuts. I wish they were, because then you can place them any place on the page. And also going to take my crocodile edge cutter, and I'm going to cut the corners. I'm going to round all the corners. At a 1/2 inch, so we've rounded we've cut out the circle, and we've rounded all the corners. Now we're also going to, at an angle, we're going to cut through here so you can put it back and forth on your door, just like so. Well, I could have probably done that and cut it out easier, but that's okay. I did tear my paper a little bit. I'm going to go around the edges, all the edges, with the distressed ink. And I'm using, as I said, I'm using Vintage Photo for it. And I will also use the ink on the other embellishments that I put. Now I'm going to put it on the inside. I'll cover that up. I'll put a little embellishment there. I shouldn't, when I sanded that, turn it over and do the back as well. The back is the song. And as I say, this is going to be more than one video. I'm looking at our time right now. And we've gone quite a bit. Also do the little cut aparts that you did. Do the circle. Okay, there we have it. There is your door hanging. There's the back. It's got the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song on the back. And we have virtually finished the first step. I'm going to shut off the video. This is part 1 of the Mother Goose Babies Asleep door hanging. And we will return. Thank you so much.